Hello and good evening, everyone. Hello and good evening, everyone. So today we're starting with a webinar about cash flow management for small businesses. I hope my voice is audible to you and the presentation is clear to you. We'll just wait for a minute for people to join and then we'll start the webinar. So if there's any issue, is there any problem, you can just type the query in the chat window and we'll solve there. Good evening, everyone. So as we start this webinar, I'll just introduce myself. I'm Shraddha. I'm working in deAsra Foundation since 2015. And today's seminar is about cash flow management for small business. Okay, so as we start, I'll give you an introduction about deAsra Foundation. So I hope my voice is audible to everyone. Hello and good evening, everyone. So deAsra Foundation is a not-for-profit organization. It's a Section 8 company formed by Dr. Anand Deshpande and his family. The main motive of starting this organization is to help and enable 25,000 entrepreneurs by 2020 and to provide 1 lakh jobs. So one entrepreneur will give jobs to 4 people. In such way, we want to help 1 lakh jobs to be created in the society. So the deAsra Foundation is a not-for-profit organization. We're located in Pune and we work pan India to give various services. Today's seminar is about cash flow management for managing your small business. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. So, why is business performance evaluation necessary? So there are few indicators that in the business that you need to look into. One is the key business performance indicator, that is a KPI. So KPI is nothing but how do you judge or manage your business, and these are the indicators which you need to think about while assessing or evaluating your business. So KPI, key business performance indicator, a way of analyzing and assessing your business performance. So why do we need to analyze and assess our business performance? Just to make sure that our business is going in the right track, and whatever we are thinking or we have planned is according to our plans. So like we go to a doctor for a yearly checkup for our own body, the same way we need to also check the health or monitor the health of our business. But when we say that we want to monitor or check the health of our business, how do we do that? So there are some parameters that we need to look into or we need to think about while checking the health or monitoring the assessment of our business. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, in front of your screen, these are few parameters on which we can assess the health of the business. First one is in growth and sales. Second one is availability of cash. Third is growth in profit. Fourth is compliance. And fifth is asset efficiency. Why am I reading to all of you is some of you are directly connected over only audio, so it would be good for you to understand. So first, growth and sales. So growth and sales is a major KPI or a business performance evaluation indicator which shows the health of the business. So what is growth and sales? So growth we did in the business in last year as compared to this year. As simple as that. Availability of cash, we will get on this in brief as the further slides are concerned. Third is growth in profit. So growth in profit, which means ki if you're doing profit for certain amount of money, am I audible to everyone? Yeah. So growth in profit. So basically, let's take an example. So for example, last month we did a profit of around 1000 rupees for a sale of 500 rupees. And this month we are doing a profit of 1500 rupees at a sale of 500 rupees. So in this, the profit is increasing, but the sales are not increasing. So growth in profit shows us that. Compliance. Compliance is one major key business performance evaluator or KPI, which indicates the health or the which indicates the health of our business. So, what is compliance? So, our business, when we are starting with it, it should be compliant, and not only it should be compliant. Even if we have an existing business, all the compliance need to be renewed at given times and dates. So, for example, if you're running a food business or a food joint, our food business, the first and foremost mandatory license or a registration which we are expected to have is the FSI or an FSSAI registration or license. Ladies and gentlemen, if we do not take this license or we do not renew this license, there are high chances that a business would can shut down at a given time if it comes into picture. So, business being compliant is also a major part of this. Second is the lastly is asset efficiency. Now, what is asset efficiency? Asset efficiency means that all the assets or the tangible things or your machinery or your equipment, everything is used efficiently into this business. Which means if you have, let's say, if you have a tailoring business and you have four machines in your outlet and only two are being used. So, which means the remaining two are not efficiently used or they do not have so much of work that you can put them to use. I would also like to tell you that in asset efficiency, your humans or people working under you are also the assets of the business. So, how much work are they doing, or what kind of are you able to utilize every resource of your business, which also shows that is if you're using your assets efficiently into the business. So these are the major five key performance evaluation or indicators which shows the growth, which shows the health or monitor. We can monitor the business. First is growth in sales, which means how much sales are we doing in comparison to the previous year or a previous time frame which we want to compare. Availability of cash, we're going to focus towards this ahead as we go with the presentation, that is availability of cash. Growth in profit, which means again a comparison in how much profit did we incur in comparison with the sales that we did. Compliance, if our business is compliant enough to be in the society, basically do we have all the compliances and all the licenses, legal compliances in place. And asset efficiency, all if all our machinery or our tangible assets are being sufficiently used and efficiently used up till the entire capacity. So these are the five indicators. Okay, so as we go ahead, we come across a proverb which says, so much of month left at the end of a money, which means that today it's 16th of April and there it's we're just half in the month. The entire half month is remaining, but for the money is over into the business. A lot of times an entrepreneur comes up to us saying ki I am not able to manage my cash gets over very quickly or it gets over soon. So this proverbs explain us the situation which a lot of entrepreneurs face on day-to-day basis, which means so much of month left at the end of the money, which means that money gets over quickly, but the days in which we're going to get it are remaining, and we have to survive in the remaining days. We have to efficiently do the business or activity into the while the remaining days are there. So we come across a lot of entrepreneurs which do face these problems on day-to-day basis, where they are unable to understand or unable to manage their cash or cash inflow, or they do not know how to efficiently manage this. So today's webinar is all about how to manage your cash flow and how to efficiently do your business activity. So when we say that much of month is left in the end of the money, it can also be that your money is stuck with your debtors and your money is going to be received in 90 days. But to survive in those 90 days, you need to have enough money or enough cash to do the other activities. So today we're going to see that how to manage your cash flow and how to efficiently do your business without having any problems. So what is cash flow management? Cash flow management is keeping track of inflow and outflow of money and analyzing any changes in it in order to meet the business requirement. So in this statement, we can see there are three aspects in the statement. One is cash flow management is keeping record or tracking of your inflow and outflow of money. So what is record keeping or keeping a track of inflow outflow? Basically, inflow is all the money which is flowing inside, and outflow all the money or all the expenses that you're incurring. So inflow and outflow tracking, why is it important? So it helps us to understand that on which factor or on which thing are we spending the money, and from which area are we incurring the income or the money is flowing in. So keeping a track of inflow and outflow of money and analyzing any changes in it. Now, analyzing any changes, which means you need to have a good amount of data with you to analyze the changes which happen, to analyze the trend of money that is coming in and going out, and why to do all these activities, or why to do keep a track of your inflow and outflow and analyze any changes in it, is to meet your business requirement. So basically, when you want to expand your activity or you want to settle down into the basic thing, you need to keep a track of the inflow and outflow of the money and analyze any changes in it in order to meet the business requirement. Now, cash flow management involves, now how do you do the cash flow management? So what do you mean by cash flow management? Is knowing when, where, and how your cash needs will occur, being prepared to meet these needs when they occur, and knowing the best sources of meeting additional cash needs. So let's take first thing, knowing when, where, and how your cash needs will occur. So now, can you project that sitting here, what would be your cash flow needs in the next 2 months? For basic raw material, for basic inventory or stock, you might be able to project. But if there are something else which comes, if there is something new which is coming into the market, you cannot predict that way in advance. Where would you need your money going ahead? So cash flow management involves knowing when, where, and how your cash needs will occur. It also helps you to understand the data you have put into that, to understand where have you invested such given amount of money, to further analyze the trends. Being prepared to meet these needs when they occur. So being prepared to meet these trends, which means that you need to have enough amount of money when and where required, or then and there required, if there are any changes or if there is anything happening. So being prepared to meet these needs, I would like to give you an example. A few months back, when the plastic was banned in Maharashtra, we came across a lot of entrepreneurs who wanted to start paper bag manufacturing business or non-woven bags manufacturing business. So immediately overnight, the trend was changed and people's requirement were changed drastically. So in this kind of scenario, when you have an existing business of paper bags manufacturing, you need to have enough cash or enough, cash to bring the raw material or get the money to cater to the changing needs of the society. So cash flow management involves being prepared to meet such kind of needs or such kind of, if any contingencies happen, then you need to have money. You need to be prepared when such things occur. Knowing the best source for meeting additional cash needs. So when you do cash flow management, you understand that where your major portion of cash is going to be invested or where your major portion of cash is going to be into. So by knowing that, you can also understand the best sources for meeting such additional cash needs or meeting these cash needs into the business. So cash flow management is keeping track of inflow and outflow of money and analyzing any changes in it in order to meet the business requirement. Cash flow management involves in knowing when, where, and how your cash needs will occur. Being prepared to meet these cash needs when they occur and knowing the best sources for meeting additional cash needs. As we go ahead, if my voice is not audible, I request you to put it in the chat window so that we can solve the query. I hope my voice is audible to everyone and the presentation is clear as well. So why cash flow management is needed? So this slide includes need for cash flow management. So first is for ensuring cash liquidity. So now what is cash liquidity? Cash as and when required at the given time when cash is available, that means it is so it means cash liquidity. So for ensuring cash liquidity, like in the previous slide, I gave you an example that in paper bags manufacturing, people already having an existing small business immediately needed cash to buy the bigger machinery or better machinery to cater the market needs. So one needs to have enough liquid cash in hand to ensure that there is no cash crunch or to have enough liquid cash. Monitoring cash inflow and outflow. So now need for cash flow management, also one major portion is to monitor your cash inflow and outflow. So to understand when, where, and how are you spending your income, or how and when are you spending the cash that you have earned. Thirdly, managing limited cash resources effectively. So in this, ladies and gentlemen, when you're doing a business, all of you have to give some amount of money on credit, or you have to give some amount of products or maybe services on credit, and you receive the cash after maybe 30 days, 60 days, or even in some cases, you receive the money in 90 days. In that 30, 60, 90 days, you also need to do the business, but you have limited cash because your cash is going to come after certain period of time in your hand or in your bank account. In such scenario, you need to effectively manage all the resources or all the cash resources for doing a successful business, because in this tenure of 30, 60, or 90 days, your business cannot stop. You need to cater to other clients or other customers, wherein but your cash is stuck with someone, or you have already given them the product or service, but the credit period is where you do not have the cash in hand. It is stuck somewhere. So the need for cash flow management is managing limited cash resources effectively. Planning for timely debt repayment. Planning for timely debt repayment, which means that when you have taken someone's cash or you have to pay someone, you need to pay it timely. It also makes you disciplined and it also increases your goodwill or name in the market, so that people give you more and more, or people do better business with you. So need for cash flow management also helps us to understand ki, okay, tomorrow I have to pay my debt, or tomorrow I have to pay an EMI, or tomorrow I have to give the money to the lender, or any of sort of things. Cash flow management helps us to understand, and which in turn helps us to plan our debt timely. Planning our debt timely is very important in terms, if you have taken any kind of loans, or if you've taken any kind of loans from a financial institute, banks, or an NBFCs, then if you do not pay the loan, or you do not pay your debts timely, then it can majorly affect your CIBIL record, that is your credit score. If your credit score goes down, no financial institute would be in your favor to give you loans or fundings if there are any future requirements. So planning your timely debt repayment is very important, and cash flow management helps you to understand your repayments. Planning adequate funds for expansion, providing adequate funds for expansion. So when you do cash flow management, you get a better hang about your business, and you can actually plan expanding your business. So business expansion is cannot be done within a fortnight. Okay, tomorrow I want to expand my business, this is the amount I'm going to spend. It needs to be planned very well in advance to understand which area are you going to expand, who are your target customers, how are you going to meet their needs, and everything in advance needs to be planned. But one major portion which comes into picture is cash. How are we going to expand it? So cash flow management helps us to understand the exact position our businesses into right now, which also helps us to imagine or to plan for expansion of our business, because uh, given amounts of funds needs to be put for expanding the business. Planning for investing surplus cash which will generate revenue. So ladies and gentlemen, when we do our cash flow management, we come across that okay, I have certain surplus amount of money which is left with me. Either I can do that is I can put it in back to business, or I can invest in some areas where I would get returns into that. Now, depending upon the requirement of the business, if the business is running smoothly, maybe you can invest such amount of money in some short-term investments, which of course may be safe, maybe share markets, but share markets can be dicey in case. But if you invest in good shares, or if you put in FDs or anything like that, you would be getting returns against it. So investing or planning an investment of surplus cash which will generate revenue. So if your business requirement is not where you need to put the money again back to the business, you can put or you can invest the money in safe options where you will be getting where you will be getting interest rates against it, and you will be generating revenue. So need for cash flow management, here are the 6 points I would repeat once again. For ensuring cash liquidity, monitoring cash inflow and outflow, managing limited cash resources effectively, planning for timely debt repayment, providing adequate funds for expansion, planning for investing surplus cash which will generate revenue. So these are the needs which are need for cash flow management. I hope I'm audible to every one of you, and if you have any point, you can put down in the chat window. So now we'll go ahead. If you want me to repeat any of the slide again, please put down in chat window and we'll discuss that again. So how cash flow problems are identified? So cash flow problems needs to be identified with given 5 questions. It's not always that you are facing cash flow, but you might also face cash flow problems. So these are the questions that you need to ask yourself. You need to analyze your business. You need to see your business, and then you need to answer. So as you see, there are certain 5 questions that you need to think about while you might face cash flow problem, or there are chances that in future you will face some cash flow problems. So the first question is, are you receiving the payment from most of your customers within the time limit you have given? Are you able to pay most of your suppliers within the stipulated time? Are you able to make payments for most of your expenses in time? Has the EMI been paid on regular basis? Is the CC account within the limit and interest is paid on regular basis? So these are the major 5 questions that you need to ask while analyzing or identifying the cash flow problems. So are you receiving the payment from most of your customers within the time limit you have given? which means see that the credit period should not exceed more than the given days. When you do business with some person, in some industries, you need to give them some amount of credit period when the money is recovered, maybe after 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, depending upon the business you are into. But when the day has come, you make sure that all the money that you have invested is coming back to you on the same day. So your credit period should not exceed more than the given days. So first question revolves that whenever you are providing goods, make sure that you receive the payment on the given day with of how many days of credits you've given to the customer. So if the answer is yes, then there are less chances that you will have cash crunch or you will have problems in your cash flow. But if the answer is no, then there might be high chances that your business would face cash flow problems. Second question is, are you able to pay most of your suppliers within the stipulated time? So as you receive the payments by after the credit period, you make sure that are you able to pay your suppliers within the stipulated time. You need to fix the cycle wherein when you are receiving the money, you pay your suppliers the money in time. So improve the recovery process by keeping a track of debtors who are likely to be due now. Reduce exposure to customers who are not paying within the due date. Regular defaulters in payments. So you need to identify the regular defaulters in payments. So the second question is about, are you able to pay most of your suppliers within the stipulated time? So you need to make sure that your repayment is done uh, in a better way and you have money or you have enough amount of money to pay to your debtors or to pay to your creditors in time. So how do you do that? So improve the recovery process by keeping a track of your debtors who are likely to be due now. You need to identify that who are the defaulters while giving you the payments. Secondly, are you able to make payments to most of your expenses in time? So expenses can be anything from the electricity bill to salaries, wages, or anything to your bank's payments or anything of that sort. So, are you able to make payments of most of your expenses time? You need to identify, are there any expenses where the payments are going beyond the due date or beyond something like that. As I said, that once if you've taken loans or funding from the bank and if you're not paying the dues back, it may majorly affect your credit score or your CIBIL score. So you need to also identify that are you able to make the payments of most of your expenses in time. Has the EMI been paid on regular basis? EMI is a major thing for your business. If you do not pay the EMI or loans from the banks, NBFCs, or a finance company, it can majorly affect your business, and further, it would be very difficult for you to get funding or loans from the financial institutes. See if you can pay the suppliers as per the given period, given days of credit without affecting your profitability. Or check if you can change the supplier, if you can give credit as per your expectation, or maintain good relations with suppliers and in turn get more credit period. So these are some of the tips that you need to follow to make sure that you do not have cash flow problems. But if your answers are no, then how a cash flow is done would we be looking into that. Is the CC account within the limit and interest is paid on regular basis? So CC account, which means cash credit account. So why a cash credit is required? A cash credit is nothing but the amount of working capital that you require for your business activity on day-to-day basis. So a bank gives you a given amount of money which is there in your account as a CC limit, and as in how you require, as in how your cash needs are, you need to withdraw that amount of money. The best part about this is that you need not pay the entire interest on the entire amount. As in how you withdraw your CC limit, you have to pay the interest rate over that. So CC account, so if the answer to this question of is the CC account within the limit and interest is paid on regular basis is yes, then your cash flow is really well. But if no, then how do we take ahead the cash flow management? We'll go ahead. If you have any questions, you can put down in the chat window. So before we go ahead, we'll just discuss or we'll talk about the case study. So as you can see in front of you that there is a picture where a person is running a snack center and he's very distressed in nature. And his question is, all my profits are disposing into paying interest of 18 to 24% from the private loans. What do I do now? So this is a real case study which happened in the deAsra Foundation, and an entrepreneur named Suraj Kumar doing a bakery or running a bakery and a cafe in Wagholi came up to us. He had taken 7 lakh rupees loan from one institute and 5 lakh rupees from two different from other institute or money lenders. Though his business was doing or making good sales every month, he was not making any profits. So this is a normal scenario which happens, and a lot of customers come up to us with the same statement saying that my business is doing well, I'm doing good amount of sales. There are a lot of walk-in clients which comes up to me, or there are a lot of sales which are happening to me, but I am unable to get profit out of it. So I'll repeat again, Mr. Suraj Kumar is doing a business of bakery and running a cafe in Wagholi. He has taken loans of 7 lakh rupees and another of 5 lakh rupees from two different money lenders. Though his business made good sales every month, he was not able to make any profits. Both the loans from money lenders were at a very high rate of interest, ranging from 18% to 24% annually. Seeing the growth in business, he also needed more funds. He came to the deAsra Foundation and took the mentors consultation for the same. The interest and part of the principal paid to the money lenders was eating majority of his profits. He was suggested to approach a nationalized bank to avail a fresh loan, which will not only help to expand his business but also repay the loans in one shot, which will reduce the interest liability sustainably. According to it, a fresh report was prepared and submitted to a bank, and the new bank sanctioned him a loan of 18 lakh rupees at the rate of interest at 14%. So this is a story where a guy doing a snack center business had taken loans from two money lenders at a very high rate of interest, and all the sales or all the profit that he was incurring was shedded into paying the interest rates of these high bearing loans or high interest rate loans. So as he came along with us, we studied his business activity, we did the cash flow management, and we understood that all the money or all the income that he's incurring is going in paying the money lenders interest rates. So further what we did was we suggested him to approach a nationalized bank to avail a fresh loan, which will not only help him to expand his business substantially, but also repay the private loans in one shot, which will reduce the interest liability sustainably. A project report after studying or vetting his business was prepared and then submitted to a nationalized bank, which helped him sanction of a loan of 18 lakh rupees at a very low interest rate of 14% per annum for the business. So to conclude, What we did was we identified the problems. We helped him to get the loan by a nationalized banks, and the loan from the nationalized banks was approved at a much rate of interest than the money lenders, which was between 18 to 24%, and the new loan which he got was at the rate of interest of 14%. Existing loans were repaid and additional loan was for expansion was also sanctioned. So as he was paying a lot of interest in repaying his existing loans, the new loan helped him to pay or repay the existing loans, and he also got enough amount of money to expand his business substantially. So this was the story. Which can happen to anyone, but to identify this is very difficult. So, in the case study, we helped him to understand the business problem. We also helped him to make a new project report, and due to that, the new project report which was made, the amount which was sanctioned was at a very low rate of interest, which was 14%. So, as you can see, the Astra Foundation also helps you to understand or restructure your previous loans. So as you see, the Udyog Mitra is advising him to approach a nationalized bank as it will help him to get the private loan at a very low rate of interest. So we are still in contact with the person who is doing the business, and it helped him so much that the business is running very successfully, and he's very happy with the help. We could help him achieve what he was or what problem it was having. So cash flow management helps us to identify such problems which we are facing in our business. If you are unable to understand that where all your profits or money is going, it helps you to understand all the cash needs. So, gap analysis and suggestions and resources. So, how do we understand the gap in our business? So, as we were discussing in the previous slides, as you can see, so if the answers are no to these questions, then you need to work upon it. And gap analysis helps us to identify, or gap analysis helps us to find the problems. So low percentile of cash sales. So what is low percentile of cash sales? Say for example, you're doing a business of 100 rupees and 80 rupees is what you are getting on credit, or you've done a sale on credit, and 20 rupees is what you've done a sale in cash. So which means only 20 rupees are there in your hand, which is the liquid cash. So problems which need, once the problems are identified, you can see some suggestions in front of you that reduce the credit period to customer and improve the recovery. Offer cash discounts to customer. Reduce exposure to those customers who regularly delay in paying. So basically this can be from business to business, but you need to identify, you need to come up with new ideas wherein you can increase the percentile of cash sales into your business. Now, supporting resources and tools, as you can see, age-wise data and sales register needs to be maintained. But how to maintain that? So don't worry, the deAsra Foundation will help you to understand and give you tools and templates that we have prepared to keep your age-wise data's list and sales register. Secondly, age-wise creditors and purchase register is also given for you to understand your debtors and creditors in time. Unplanned capital expenditure. Now, unplanned capital expenditure, for example, the summer is like we're coming, it's very scorching sun outside. So let's say you're doing, so this happened when a lady came up to us and she was doing she was running a beauty salon, and her AC got shut off out of nowhere. But now to do the business or to make clients comfortable, she needed the AC immediately. The AC was unable to be repaired. So what she did was she had to purchase a new AC for doing business smoothly. Now, what happened due to that is that it did not affect the clientele base because they were very happy with the service, but her cash was drastically reduced because of an unplanned capital expenditure or an unplanned expenditure which came. So one needs to keep at least 5% of their money for such contingencies or such unplanned capital expenditure. So plan for raising adequate funds to meet the capital expenditure. You need to keep some amount of money aside for planning unplanned capital expense. While planning, ensure funds are raised from profits, raising additional capital, long-term loans, etc. So while planning, you need to ensure that the funds are raised from profits or raising additional capital in long-term loans. You can apply for loans, bank loans, etc. Ensure that this should not be taken from working capital. Now, why it should not be taken in from working capital is, as we continue with the same example, had she taken the money out of the working capital, she wouldn't have much amount of money left with her to do the various business activities like getting raw materials, paying to her employees, or paying the bills or any other day-to-day expenses which she incurs. So the major thing is that she should take the money or loan from the capital and not the working capital. So we help you to, keep your accounting services, all the requirements that you have for your business. We help you in accounting services, inflow outflow tracker, cash budget tracker. So the deAsra Foundation helps you in also identifying or keeping well in inflow outflow tracker and also the cash budget tracker. So this is the gap analysis that you need to understand, and these are the supporting resources and tools from deAsra which we can provide. I'll repeat once again: age-wise daters and sales register, age-wise creditors and purchase register. Accounting services can be given to you from our end. Inflow outflow tracker can be shared. Cash budget tracker can be also shared with you. So now, as we see, we'll go to another case study of Mr. Girish Shahane, who's running a business of mobile accessories and allied services for last 4 years in Kothur. He has issues to keep a track of his personal and business income and expenditure. So this also happens on very day-to-day basis, and we come across a lot of candidates who mix their personal and business expenses together, and they are unable to understand what is wrong with the cash management. So I'll repeat again, Mr. Girish Shahane is running a business of mobile accessories and allied services for past 4 years in Kothur. He had issues to keep a track of his personal and business income and expenditure. He used to mix most of them of times. After speaking or after taking the mentor's guidance and Udyog Mitra's guidance from deAsra for his cash crunch and future business planning, he started using the inflow outflow tracker for last 10 months. So now what happened because of inflow outflow tracker, he was able to identify or he was able to give a heading to all the expenses if it was for the business or it was for the personal expenses. So the tool gave him a real picture of financial health of his business. Now he's able to handle the income and expenses in a much better way, segregating his personal and business expenses. So as you can see in small that what is an inflow and outflow tracker? It is nothing but it helps you to manage your cash very efficiently. So for a small business entrepreneur who's just started the business, managing tally or taking tally can be an expensive affair as well as not much. You may be experiencing network connection difficulties. Just a second, people. We are experiencing some network difficulties. We'll continue. Is my voice audible to everyone? Is the sound okay with everyone? Please let me know in the chat window. So if there is any problem, we can be able to solve it. So I'll just read the case study. So Mr. Girish Chahani is running a business of mobile accessories and allied services for past 4 years in Kothur. He has issues to keep a track of his personal and business income and expenditure. He used to mix most of them both of the time. After seeking mentors' guidance from deAsra for his cash crunch and future business planning, he started using deAsra's inflow-outflow tracker for past 10 months. The tool gave him a real picture of his financial health of the business. Now he is able to handle the income and expense in a much better way, segregating his personal and business expenses. To conclude, he could track item-wise income as well as expense, and now he's able to know his monthly cash position, that is the availability of the cash. So what is an inflow outflow tracker? It is nothing but you can manage your inflow and outflow, and you can give heads to your all the incomes and expenses, such as maybe you get salaries or you get a repayment, you get some money in advance, or you do some drawing, or you spend some amount of money over food for your personal use. Then you need to give heads to that, because those expenses are for your personal thing and not for your business activity. So inflow outflow tracker very well helps you to understand these things, and they help you to identify and manage your cash flow very efficiently. For any small business, managing tally or having tally can be difficult. A lot of people may not be able to help, use the tally into their business, and some of them write their accounts in books. But due to that, they are unable to understand the cash position which is there currently, and therefore cash flow management helps to you to understand and manage your cash flow efficiently. So, what is a cash flow inflow outflow tracker? So, if you want to see, you can directly call us and we will explain you what the cash flow inflow outflow tracker is. Our Udyog Mitras will also further help you to put your data into the cash flow outflow tracker, inflow outflow tracker, which will help you to understand what exactly it is. Now, as we saw the 5 important parameters using the business, as the first slide mentioned, that the key performance indicators, that is the KPI, a way of analyzing and assessing your business performance. So we saw availability of cash. The first major KPI is growth in sales. Second is availability of cash, on which we just spoke for last few minutes. Then is growth in profit, then come compliance, and then comes the asset efficiency. So we just spoke about the availability of cash. So I'll quickly just talk about it. Growth in sales is nothing but how much sales are you incurring in terms of your past experience. Availability of cash is the cash available at the given time and at the given point of time for your business. Growth in profit, are you making enough profit for this amount of sales you're making? Is your business compliant enough to sustain for a long period of time? And are you completely using your assets or efficiently utilizing your assets? So if you want to do the business performance evaluation, following is the link to which you will be able to go. So I request you to just go through the link and download or do the business performance evaluation. The team members from our end will call you if you want to do the business evaluation performance. Below that, there is a feedback link. I request each one of you to please fill the feedback link so that we understand and improve in the further coming webinars. I request you to please click on the feedback link and give us a feedback on this webinar. Before that, there is a evaluation link which you can click on if you want to do a detailed business evaluation of your business. We will be very happy to help you to do your business performance evaluation. I request you to please fill both. The second one is for the feedback of the webinar. I request you to please click on the feedback link and give us a feedback in that. It is also given in the chat window, so if you're unable to copy paste from that, you can take it from the chat window. I will keep the link open for a few minutes. I'll keep the page open so that you can copy paste it. Meanwhile, if you have any questions or if you want me to go back to any of the slide and talk and discuss about it more, we can do that. If you have any questions, you can put down in the chat window. So the feedback is regarding the webinar. If you want us to improve, it will really help us. So please, I request you to fill the feedback link. And above the link is for the business performance evaluation. So if you want us to help you evaluate your business, we would be very happy to help you. And I request you to copy paste this link and fill your details so that some of our team members will call you for the further processing. Okay, so as we go further, so if I'll tell you about deAsra services as we go ahead, but the eligibility of having or a criteria for taking deAsra services are, so you can talk with us over the phone, email, or any sort of media that you have, you can get contact with us. First things first, that you need to have your business idea clear, that what kind of business you want to start and what would be the idea or what kind of activity that you want to get into. Secondly, do you have adequate knowledge and experience in the proposed line of activity? We expect an entrepreneur or a person to have relatively adequate knowledge and experience in the proposed line of activity, which helps you to understand the business in and out. So most of the business are dependent upon the skills of the humans. So if you have so much amount of skills or if you have adequate amount of knowledge and experience, then we can surely help you. And thirdly, if you've undergone any training for the same. So not just training, educational training, but if you've worked somewhere, you have relevant amount of experience, you have knowledge about the resources, raw materials, and how the business is done, then if you have yet answers to these three questions, the Astra Foundation would be very happy to help you in all the services that we provide you. So these are the eligibility criteria that we expect a person coming to us must have. That is, an idea should be finalized. You should have enough knowledge and experience in the proposed line of activity, and you should have undergone some training and experience so that you have enough knowledge of the raw material, uh, you know, other things so that you understand the business. So these are the services that deAsra Foundation offers. deAsra Foundation again is a not-for-profit concern, and we are working for entrepreneurship development where we help an entrepreneur to prepare a business plan. So if you just have an idea in mind or you have the business details but you don't know how to plan a business, what exactly business planning is, then you can come down to us with the business idea and we would be very happy to help you in making your business planning. So business plan is nothing but how a business will look on paper, and all the aspects and all the things of a business are put down on a sheet of paper for us to understand that how a business would look and what all things needs to be thought about while getting into the business. Just to give you an example, business planning includes the name of the activity, the directors, the motive behind starting this activity, who all are the competitors into this, what is the SWOT analysis. If you've done what is SWOT analysis, which means strengths, weaknesses, opportunities of your business and of the skills that you have. So this is a major portion of business planning. If the business is going to be a viable project or a feasible project in the long run, so business planning helps us to understand all these aspects of the business. So the Astra Foundation helps you to do business planning once you finalize upon the idea. Second, legal and licenses compliances. So all the legal licenses compliances that you need for your activity, we help you to apply it online. For example, Shop Act, Gumasta, FSSCI registration, license, Udyog Aadhaar, and any such licenses which are required for you to start this activity, we will help you to apply it online. Secondly, any kind of professional services, such as you want to form a private limited company, you want to get your accountancy done, or any other professional services that you require, such as copyrights, trademarks, or anything, then we also have people who can help you do the professional services that are required for your business. Small business essential kit, which means that major portions of people which require a lot of things such as Shop Act, Udyog Aadhaar, FSSCI registration, managing your cash flow. We also have a good mentor panel whom you can talk with in terms if you have any kind of business guidance that you require. You can come down to us or you can talk with our mentor panel. So this comes under small business essential kit. Facilitation of funding. So when you go to a bank for funding and you just go to the manager and you say, ki, hey, I need funding, no one would make you stand because there is no, you don't have anything. So when you approach a bank, there are set of documents that you need to take with you yourself for them to understand the activity. So the Astra Foundation helps you to prepare such fund-ready proposals so that you can approach the bank, and once they ask you, okay, on what basis are you asking me the loans? On that very instant, you can show them the entire file and say, "Ki, this is my requirement, this is how my sales are going to be, this is what my projections are going to be." And the Astra Foundation helps you in the making your fund ready proposals for your activity. Improve business performance. As you saw the cash flow management, accordingly, once we do the cash flow management, we understand our red areas or red marks where the business is lacking. The Astra Foundation, once we identify these problems, the Astra Foundation will also help you to improve the business performance. We will give you strategies based upon your business activity. We'll give you help access to a mentor panel. You can consult them, take guidance from them, which will help you to improve the business performance of the business. Marketing support and design services. This is another service that we offer to our entrepreneurs, that if you require any kind of marketing support or any kind of guidance in terms of that, making your own website, branding, logo creation, or putting paper advertisements, brochures, or anything, then marketing support and design services are given to you. Business tools and knowledge resources. Ladies and gentlemen, as we spoke in the previous slides, that we will help you to give age-wise data, creditors list, or how do you manage them? What are the tools to manage them? Cash flow management is one of the major tool which we give to you so that it is very easy for you to manage your business. So these are some of the tools and templates that we share free of cost with the entrepreneurs if they want access to them. So deAsra has the following services: business planning, we'll help you to do the business planning, legal licenses, compliances, professional services, small business essential kit, which includes Shop Act, Udyog Aadhaar, FSI, mentor consultancy, facilitation of funding, that is the fund ready proposal creation, improve business performance, marketing support and design services, business tools and knowledge resources. So these are some of the resources, these are some of the services that the Astra Foundation offer. I will again go back to the page where you can see the feedback link. I request you all to please fill the feedback so that it helps us to improve as we go further. And above that, we have a link for doing the business performance evaluation. If you want your business performance evaluation to be done, then please copy paste this link and put your details. My team members will contact you further for doing the performance evaluation, and they would be giving you the entire information about the business performance evaluation. we can start with the question answer session. If you have any kind of question answers, please put down in the chat window and we would happy to answer those questions. So as you can see on the screen, you can contact us through the phone number that you can see on us. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter so that you keep getting updates about our new webinars, seminars, and all the things happening in our organization. Uh, Please follow us on Twitter and Facebook so that you are updated with all the activities that we are doing. If you need any assistance, please feel free to contact us. So these are the numbers where you can get in touch with us. So if there are any questions, we'll be stopping the seminar in another 5 minutes. If you have any questions or if you think about any questions later on, you can mail us to them on team@deasra.co.in. www.deasra.in is our website. I request you to go onto our website. A lot of things are available there free of charge for the entrepreneurs. You can follow us on Twitter and you can follow us on Facebook as well so that you are updated with all the activities that are happening. Our office timings are from 10 to 6 Monday to Friday. Thank you.